was working. It's always a little bit of a battle, but we got it working. We turn on auto stop so that way I don't have to worry about that at the end of the stream here. Okay. Today's activities. We need to do the blueprints for the triple barrel cannons. We need to make the torpedo and implement it as a projectile. We put an objective yesterday to fix the boat model sliding. I've already taken care of that, so I'm just gonna walk through how I did it, just for transparency's sake. Basically, make sure you're in player boat self, or make sure you're at the player character's blueprint. Click on the main body of the blueprint and type in rotation. You want to uncheck use controller rotation, yeah, that's step 1. Step 2 is to click on the character movement, and then you want to orient rotation to movement. And then you want to change the rotation rate down. I think default is 540. Oh, 360. I was wrong. I dropped it down to 25. And now when we load this up, you can see now there's a little bit of rotation to it. But yeah, now that's working. I went ahead and did the same thing to the enemy script, I think. I actually don't remember if I did. Same and same, yeah. So that's all been taken care of. I forgot to open Blender, so let me do that real quick. I'm already spacing out. There's Blender. Assuming it doesn't crash. There we go. Okay. So torpedoes thankfully don't need to use the turret base or the, basic cannon shape. So we can just kind of hide those for now. And for the torpedoes, I'm not planning on doing anything too crazy, so we're just going to try and get this done very quickly. Start off with a cube. We're going to make it into a long cube. Probably something like that, just to start. I actually just realized I don't remember what a torpedo looks like, so let me just, torpedo. Okay, so they're just literally rounded tubes with some fins on the rear. So that's what we'll go with as well. Keep it simple, right? So let's go ahead and get the rounding taken care of first. Probably just do that by going into generate and go to subdivision surface. Probably a little more. That'll do. Cool. Wrong buttons. Now we just gotta add the fins. So we'll just do... Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's do mirror X and start by grabbing these vertices here, or these edges will work as well. Okay, that's not working. Is it not X? Is it? Y-axis? Nope. Is it the Z-axis? Nope, that's not it either. Don't know why you're not working. Guess we'll just use a mirror modifier then. Okay, so now if we go to here, yeah, we'll put the fins there, just extrude out. There we go. Then rotate them about like this. Then just extrude straight back. Neat. Then we'll just need to do the same thing from the top view. So probably right about here. We do a mirror on the Z-axis for this. Z-axis. There we go. So go up a little bit like this. That should be good. And then just extrude it back. Like that. Let's move it back just a hair. Yeah. That looks like a torpedo to me. Now we just gotta give it some color. The reference images I'm seeing are very like diverse. Some of them are green, some of them are brown, some of them are gray. Given that our turrets are a bright white color with black barrels, I think I'd like to maintain that color scheme. So I think what we'll do is we'll start by giving them a white base, and then we'll add some black decorative stripes. I think that's what I want to do. Let's apply this mirror modifier. Go to UV editing, select all. Then smart UV project. Give it an island margin of 0.05. Ooh, that is actually a really good way to split that up. I think I like that. So now we can just go to texture paint. Go to texture slots, make a new material. Call it torpedo material. Man, I am not sitting right in my chair. Excuse me. We'll keep that color and just apply it. Now we just need to use the color black to add some decorations to this. So if we go over here, see if these will maintain symmetry for us. But we'll start with that. Pretty close, pretty close. So we'll just need to fill in the rest of those colors ourselves. But let's finish designing our little torpedo here. I think having a... maybe just have a pure black nose, just to signify this is where the warhead delivers its payload. We'll have two secondary stripes that go along this x-axis line here. And then we'll finish off by making the fins themselves black, which we can just do right here. Just do this. There we go. We might need to clean that up just a little bit. There we go. Now we can finish painting the fins here. And just like that, fins are done. So now we just gotta clean up the application of black paint that we put on. That'll clear up one section. This should clear up another one. This section can use a little touch-up work. And then our black stripes right here and up here. Looking nice, looking nice. A little touch right here. See where that landed? That landed down here, so just gotta touch that up. Take care of the black stripes, which are luckily lined up pretty close with each other, so we don't have to do too much work on that. All coming together. This will probably be the fastest we finish a 3D model since we started this game jam. Which, I mean, I would hope the torpedo is the most simple model, am I right? I don't know if I mentioned this on stream yet. I do apologize if I seem a little low energy. I woke up pretty sick this morning. I tried taking a couple naps and drinking coffee to help, but it hasn't really been enough. But I want to continue to improve my skills through this game jam. And this project is so unique to what I normally work on that I'd like to see it through successfully. So I know I have a few more days to work on this stuff, but if I can get something done today, even if it's just a little bit of work, that's huge. That's huge. It also helps that I'm not making this game for my own, not just for my own sake, but for a buddy's sake, you know? Okay. Last thing I want to do is give this a little one metal finish. Look at that. Alright, save the blend file. And now we can export this as an FBX and put it in Unreal Engine. Make sure that we put our export settings in the correct order. Copy with embedded textures. Selected objects only. Excuse me. This has no animations. And we need to rename this. Torpedo. Bam. And with that, we can work on our successes portion of the document. Successes. And we can put 3D modeling torpedo. And then also, since I covered it earlier this stream, blueprints. We fixed boat model sliding / snapping. Okay, I don't think we need Blender for the rest of today, so we can go ahead and close that. Now we can work on importing that torpedo model. Torpedo. Torpedo, torpedo. There it is. Let me drop it off right here. And this is a static mesh, so we don't need to do anything fancy with the armature. And there it is in the engine. There's some slight clipping here with the material, but honestly, most of the time the player's not going to be able to see this. Oh no, where's the fins? Oh, is Unreal rendering it weird? I think Unreal's rendering it weird. Okay, yeah, we need to get back into Blender then. This should be an easy fix. Go back to our UV. Back face culling is correct. We just need to do Shift N to recalculate normals. And then just export it as an FBX once again. Oh. We'll keep Blender open for a moment while we make sure this is all working correctly. Music's getting really loud. Okay, there we go. That's rather unfortunate. Probably because I'm only using like, how do I say this? The edges are very one-sided, one-dimensional. That's the two-dimensional basically, and that's always going to be weird for a 3D thing. So let's go back to layout and let's change how these fins are modeled. First things first, we should probably get rid of them all. Oops. Try that again. Get rid of that, and then just get rid of this as well. And then what we'll do differently here is we'll just grab 1, 2, 3. That is basically... Okay, so 2 tiles away. 2 tiles. 1, 2, 3. Oh shoot, I should have... Hold on. Two, 3. 1, 2, 3. You also mirror it like this. And not quite. Here, we'll just drag them out like so. Rotate them out. Then we'll just grab these two here. Grab this. Oh, come on. Come on. Gotta zoom in. 2, 3. Rotate them like that. Bring them up. Bring them back. We'll zoom in like this. Grab these two. Now we can grab all 3. We can bring them out like this. Oh, now we just gotta do the same for these down here. These are using this y coordinate right here, so we could probably copy that. Apply it like this. And then if we do select vertices, now we may just have to eyeball this. I want to rotate it on the x-axis, be lined up like this. There we go. Bring them down. Let's see. Bottoms are lined up like that, so let's go ahead and try and match that. Then we'll just drag this out just to get an idea of what we're looking at here. Alright, the alignment's a little bit off, so we'll just work on that real quick. Drop the Z and see if that gives us what we need. Not quite. Might be better just not to use that middle. And then just connect these up. Yeah, that might be the better approach. Let's go ahead and do that. I add these in here. Grab these here. Yeah, they're pretty thick, but it'll get our job done. So let's go ahead and get that accomplished. Scale these up. Okay, now we just got to do the same thing on the x-axis here. So once again, we'll use our reference point of basically 2 panels in to, yeah, here and here. Here and here. Do it like that. Then we'll rotate. Okay, like that. Bring it out. Oh, and then just extrude. Close up these gaps real quick. Those edges are not quite aligned. Luckily, that's an easy fix. Grab this Z coordinate. That brings it down. Grab this Z coordinate here, and that'll bring it down there. Oh, now we just gotta make sure the UVs for these are... Oh. That's okay. That'll fix it. Where are these UVs? There they are. So, the wireframe. We do probably on here, right? Yeah, select faces. The same thing on this side. Go over here. Do the same thing over here. Do the same thing over here. Have a couple more faces, just to be thorough. Now that we know where those UVs are, we can just drag them down into the black since that's all we want them to be. And there they are. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Let's save. Export this as our FBX. As Torpedo, once again. Back into Unreal. Close that window. Torpedo FBX. Import. Shouldn't have any more issues. Yeah, there we go. Well, we missed a spot, but that's okay. It'll just be a small thing that players may or may not catch. So, now that we got our torpedo model, Aisha, let's start making the torpedo projectile functional. So first things first, we're gonna need to go to our blueprints folder, go to our weapons folder, and we have our cannon projectile, right? Now, the cannon projectile is supposed to shoot in kind of like an arc fashion, you know? Just like bullets, you know, it drops off after a period of time. Our torpedoes are not going to work like that. They need to always shoot straight. So we'll just make a new blueprint class, an actor, and we'll call it Torpedo. Dive in here. We'll add a static mesh, and our static mesh will be the torpedo. Dive into here, change the characteristics, bam, there's our torpedo. And it's probably very, very big. So if we put that there, for example, where's our player start? I don't think we actually added it to this level, did we? Player start. Ah, there it is. We're just really far away. Let's grab that torpedo. Gotta get really close. So there's the torpedo. And you can see... Oh. Oh, the bow controls feel really weird. I'll have to tweak that later. It seems to be moving based on where forward was when we spawned, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to tweak that. But anyway, point being, the torpedo is very, very big. If we go back in as our little baby ship here, you can see it would never fit on our little boat here, which is unfortunate because our boat here needs to have torpedoes. So what we're going to do, we're going to guesstimate the shrinkage. I'm going to assume 0.5 to start. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's still pretty big, isn't it? Yeah, that's still pretty big. Alternatively, our boat could just also be really small. We did shrink it to what? It's not telling me in here. Probably because it's based on this. No? Hmm. Nope, our boats are just that much smaller, I guess. Okay, so let's just try 0.1. Okay, that's really small now. So if we bring it in closer to the player so we can see it. Oop. Camera speed's a little bit jumpy here. Drop it down to 2. That should be fine. And then we want the boat to kind of line up with where we face when we spawn, just so we can see it comparatively. We'll also pull it a little to the right. There it is. And we can see a little bit better. I need to come up with a braking system. How should we brake? We should also probably make the player camera just dictate what's forward and what's not. So ignore base rotation. Whether the character ignores changes in rotations of the base it is standing on. If true character maintains current world rotation, rotates with moving base. Oh, okay, so if we're on a moving platform. So use controller desired rotation. If true, smoothly rotate the character toward the controller's desired rotation. Using control rate as the rate of rotation change, overridden by orient rotation movement. So it's overridden by this. Okay. Let's see. Let's turn this back on for just a second and see if that changes anything. Okay, so that'll inherit the mouse's look, which we don't want. And if we do orient rotation to movement, uncheck, what does that do for us? Ah, yes. Okay. We definitely want both of those on. Da, 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 da. Use pawn control rotation. We turn that off, what happens? Oh, right. It just turns off the ability for us to rotate. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do? Well, the issue is in the movement, so we need to fix that. Oh, we do need a braking system. So let's actually do that real quick. Input. And then we'll do input action brake. We'll bind that to shift. I don't know if that's normal for boat games. I've only played War Thunder a little bit in the boat mode, but we can tweak it later if we find out otherwise. But let's do event brake. Then maybe can we start deceleration? So by default, it's 2048. Is that true? Oh, breaking friction factor is that. We probably want friction. Or, hold on. I have a, it says breaking. Breaking friction factor, that. Let's just play around with it. So let's say we set the breaking friction factor to, I don't know, 1000. And then when we release it, we set it back to 0.15. Just to test it. Okay, 1000 is a little high, but at least it does go back to normal. Okay, so that's actually not also, it's also not actually breaking us. I was holding shift while moving there, so. Let's type in break. Let's do something silly, right? We'll delete these. Stretch this out a little bit. Move this here, move these back here. And what we'll do is we'll actually just slowly reduce the player's max speed when they're holding the brake button. And we're going to do that by setting a timer by event. And here we're going to create a custom event called start braking. And every, I don't know, let's say 0.1 second looping with a timer by handle. We'll call the handle braking timer. And then what we'll do here is we will get the character movement. And every time this rolls, we're going to set, or hold on, let me read these values real quick just to make sure. Max acceleration is 500. If we slowly reduce the max acceleration, will that eventually perhaps help us slow down? I don't know, but we're gonna try. Max acceleration. And what we're gonna do is we're going to get max acceleration. And we're going to subtract it by a factor of 10. Yeah, let's go 50. Max acceleration is 500. And then on release, we'll do another custom event. We'll call it stop braking. And not only will we clear and invalidate the timer, we will also set our max acceleration back to 500. Let's see if that does it for us. Yeah, that works. That works pretty well, actually. Except that I can't move anymore. So something's clearly not working. Oh, right. I need to call the stop braking event. There we go. So, now, if we're moving, well, whether we're moving or not is irrelevant, but if we hit our brake, it'll trigger this start braking event, where every 0.1 seconds, our max acceleration is going to drop from 500 to 0, which we should probably clamp real quick. Clamp. Minimum 0, maximum 500. There we go. That way we don't accidentally trigger some kind of error when we get to negatives. But yeah, it's going to start reducing our ability to accelerate. Once we release the brakes, though, it will turn off this event here and return our acceleration back to 500. So let me start braking. My controls are not responding. That was weird. Okay, let's try again. Start braking. What is going on? Something's not working. Turn and validate timer by handle. Max acceleration back to 100. Or 500. Back to 500. Yeah. Maybe this clamp is causing the issue. Maybe it's okay that it goes into the negative. Yeah, that was the issue. The clamp was ruining it somehow. I need to come up with a solution for these weird controls. Because right now, as I said earlier, when we hold forward, it's always moving our player to where forward was on spawn. Not really moving us forward in the direction of the camera. So, let's do this. Get the follow camera. Get world rotation. That will be the forward vector. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. And it's reversed. I'm holding right and it's turning me. Oh, wait. Okay, holding forward makes me go forward towards the camera. Holding right makes my boat turn left. Which also doesn't update. Oh, you know why? You know why? Because this needs to be plugged in like this. Because we have our forward vector and we have our right vector based on the camera's location. I don't think we need to divide it by 2. So we're gonna temporarily disable that just to test it. Yeah, there we go. That's more natural. And reverse is based on the camera's direction. Downside being the whole boat turns that direction, but honestly, I don't mind it. Okay. So we need to come up with a way. Are you braking? Okay. I think the friction system is causing it to keep drifting. So I might need to just something different than acceleration. What other assets could we use? Maybe just max speed? Let's try max speed. So get max speed. set max speed. Why are you giving me different things? Get max walk speed. There we go. Set this back up to be 600. Plug these back in. I don't think it's working. There's something else going on here. What if we subtract it by 100? Nope. Here, let's try something sillier. Max walk speed and maybe braking friction. Two, one. Nope. Okay, we'll figure something out here. Gravity scale, braking friction factor. Is there a way to just do braking? Not quite. Brake. Deceleration when walking and not applying acceleration. Maybe if we just increase this by 3? Nope, because we're drifting still. Okay, so that's not doing anything for us. Set braking friction factor. Set this to 1. Copy paste. Set this to 0.15. Link this back up. Compile save. It's not going as quickly as I would like. So what if we jump that up to 3? Three feels about right, honestly. Oh, I should check if it works on release. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it means our boat can kind of rubber band a little bit, but that's okay. Game's not supposed to be hyper realistic or anything like that. Alright, movement inputs are all set up. Notate some of this stuff. Torpedo modeled. Added material and imported into Unreal. Fixed boat model sliding snapping. Added braking to movement controls. Fixed navigation rotation based on player camera. I think that's all we've done so far, right? Yeah. Oh, we made a torpedo actor. That's right. And we actually need to finish doing that. Created torpedo actor. Here, let's do this. Updated player boat blueprints. And then just do this so that way we segregate our work. Let's finish this torpedo. Because right now, all it does is sit in the world, right? So we need to add a projectile movement. We need to disable gravity. Excuse me. Gravity. It's probably not in the movement controls. Oh, gravity scale. There we go. Zero. So now what I want to test, I know our blueprint is full of test code right now, which we can fix. We don't need to possess all turrets functionality, for example. We're going to do that through widgets. 9 is start wave, which we'll keep for now. Shoot all turrets kind of works the way we need it to, so no need to fret on that one. We'll even just tighten this up just so we have some more room to work with. I say in the infinite expanse of Unreal's blueprint node system, but I digress. This is no longer what that does, so let's rename that to start wave. This is loading save stuff, which I'm only going to keep on hand because I need this information for when we do our boat customization menu. So, we have an input action shoot. Do we have an enumeration for the available weapons for the player? No. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new enumeration, and we're going to call this player weapon slots. And then if we go to our project settings, I think we set up 4, and I think that might be too much. Weapon 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. So glad I planned this out a little bit at least. Okay, so slot 1 is going to be our single barrel cannons. Slot 2 is going to be our triple barrel cannons. And slot 3 is going to be our torpedoes. Now you might be wondering, why are we splitting our weapons into slots like this? And it's because in the original game, Naval Ops Warship Gunner, you have to switch between the weapons to use them. That way, you're not accidentally firing all your weapons at once, especially since torpedoes seem to launch from the front of your ship. I say that as if I've seen torpedo gameplay. Let me actually double check myself on that. Because I'm pretty sure in War Thunder, that's not how that works. Naval Ops Warship Gunner gameplay. Let's click on this. Oh, vision music stuff again. The guy playing it doesn't seem to use torpedoes very often. You know what? Just so that the torpedoes aren't relegated to being unusable, we will allow the player to shoot them wherever they're aiming. We're gonna have to set up that functionality for them. So, we're gonna have to do some interesting trickery here. So we'll need to do, let's see, array count, turn array. We're not using this. We are using that. Organize this a little bit. We'll call this turret spawn. We'll hide this under my character. There we go. Okay. Back up here. We're gonna get all actors with tag that. Light this out. We're going to switch on player weapon slots. Light this out quite a bit more, actually. And we're going to select. We're going to promote this index to a variable. No, we won't, because we got to do that separately. We'll call it active weapon. Make this an integer. So if it's slot 0, we'll use single barrel cannons. If it's slot 1, we'll use the triple barrel cannons. And if it's slot 2, we'll fire the torpedoes. So now we need to set up that functionality by changing this stuff out. Why is there a branch here? Must be from something I got rid of. Anyway, let's go to our blueprints here and take a look at our weapons. Turret parent, single barrel cannon. So we still need to set up the triple barrel cannons and its functionality. Oh shoot, we need to set up damage and whatnot. That's the other thing. So what we're gonna need to do is, let's go back here, turret parent. That's the event tick for looking where the turret is looking, or where the player is looking with the camera. Player controller, convert mouse location to word space. Wait, hold on. Was it enter? There we go. Okay, yeah, so it's aiming where the mouse is aiming. Perfect. So glad we did that yesterday. Or was it day before? It doesn't matter. Event shoot. Yeah, let's actually comment this out. Rotate turret to player mouse location. That blue color. Set owner tags on spawn. On spawn? I don't think it's on spawn anymore. We may not need this anymore, but we'll find out later. And then this is the shooting mechanic. Something we're gonna need to tweak here is we need to set up a way for the projectile to apply damage to whatever it hits. So here's the cannon projectile, right? We'll need to go to... Event on component begin overlap, maybe? Event called when a component hits or is hit by something solid. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna drag it out and do apply damage. The damage actor will of course be whatever it hits. We're gonna promote the base damage to that. Okay, that should be fairly simple. Now all we really need to do is set base damage. And we'll promote that to a variable as well. So yeah, that should be good. We're gonna need to tweak this for the triple barrel cannon, but we can get to that later. So we need to go to variables. Actually, no we don't, because we can just go to class defaults and there's base damage. So ship-to-ship combat balance is weird because it's not like first-person shooters where ideally the player dies in 3 hits in a grounded shooter and maybe less than a magazine in a shield-based system or something like that. Ships are kind of tanky, and you want to feel that while also not making the weapons feel like they're doing nothing. So let's go under the assumption that, here, we'll get a calculator app going here. Let's assume all ships have a base health of 100, and with a single barrel cannon, we would like the ships to go down in 5 shots. So we would like them to do 20 damage per shot. And then to make sure that the players can't do something like this, we will implement a very simple thing where we do a branch from its variable. The variable, we'll call it reloading. And if reloading is false, then you can shoot. What we'll do is at the end of this chain here, we will set a timer by event. Custom event. Reloading. Shoot. Reload guns. There we go. Link this up. We'll set the time to be our reload timer. We're only doing this once, so I don't think we need a timer by handle. But we'll do set reloading to false, and then we'll just print string just to see how quickly that triggers. Oh shoot, one more thing we got to do. Set reloading to true, and then start the reload process. Oops, did I do something wrong? File, save. Shoot, branch. Is reloading true? If false, do your thing. And once you do your thing, set reloading to true, and it's set timer by handle. Okay, something about that branch is not working. What if we reverse it? Well, now it's just letting us get away with it. Wait, if reloading is true... Oh, it's true by default. Okay, that might be our issue. So now we can swap this. Reload timer. Oh, shoot. It's set to 0. Let's make it 3 seconds. There we go. So now I'm spamming click. You can see it only lets us shoot once in a while. Very simple, but very effective. Let's document that we're doing this at all. Updated turret blueprints. Added damage and reload timers to turret parent BP. Added apply damage to cannon projectile. There we go. Okay. Now, triple barrel cannons are tricky, right? They're firing 3 of these projectiles. So we want there to be... We don't want them to be same damage 3 times, because then it just makes a single barrel cannon useless. So there's a couple ways we can do that. So the single barrel cannon timer is currently set to 3 seconds, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the base damage here, and we're just going to divide it by 2. And then we're going to increase the reload time. So that way the player always has a reason to switch between their weapons, even if one technically has higher DPS. Because obviously 3 times 10 is definitely bigger than 20, but A, you need to land all those shots, and B, your reload time is going to be higher. So that'll be the drawback to this weapon. So let's go ahead and get that set up. We're going to create a child blueprint class. We're going to call it the triple barrel cannon. We're going to change the single barrel turret head to the triple. We're going to move the point light to line up with the barrels here. Ooh, now the next question. Would it be cooler to have the barrels fire all at once or one at a time? Sorry, all that yapping is getting me thirsty. Let's... Oh shoot, I need to set up the player to have triple barrel cannons. Enter loads the save. So what if we just change this to be the triple barrel cannon? And then what we do is set triple... Oh shoot, I didn't set that up in the save system. That's on me. That's on me. Let's hide the cannon projectile, because we don't need that now. we need to go to the code save. Duplicate this. Triple barrel cannons count. Excuse me. Set triple barrel cannon count. Let's say the player has 2 of these. And let's just gonna have to tweak all this. Let's just do this. Cast to triple barrel cannon. That we can get rid of this. We can probably just link this up like that. Declare owner. We're gonna need to recall that. So let's do declare owner. Plug this back in here. Player. Do the attachments. I think it's this way. We want to attach the triple barrel cannon to the player. So oh, right. Turret base. See if that works. Okay, so the triple barrel cannon seemed to be working as intended. I don't know why it spawned 3. Maybe if we set this down to 1. It spawned 2 now. Oh, you know what? Because you can 0 index, huh? So if I just leave this like this and plug it in like that, is that gonna work? Yep. Interesting. But at least it's set up now. So now we can test these. I'd like to shrink them though. Let's shrink them to I don't know, 0.25? Okay, that's not what I wanted. 0.5 maybe. There we go. Now I can see the model a little bit better. Oh, cool. We can also see that if it hits the player, it won't shoot. Glad that's working. Cool. Now, we just need to work on making the triple barrel cannon act like a triple barrel cannon. So we're going to need to override the shoot event. It's going to be mostly the same. So we can actually just kind of steal all of this. And the biggest change we're going to make is we're going to do a for loop. Yeah, if any of the rays hit the player, we don't want to shoot any of them. So let's do a for loop. Is there maybe a better way we can do this? For loop with break? Nope. For loop. Flow control. There we go. We want to go 0 to 2 and loop that. And it's currently doing it from the point light, which we want to make sure that we change that to each one. So how are we going to do that? Well, first off, we should probably make the other point lights. That might be helpful. So we want 0 is probably fine. 0 by 240, so let's do 0 by 240, so this needs to be 240. This needs to be 0. Then we need to just kind of add this over. Yeah, just like that. Cool. Duplicate this one more time. Just slide this over here. I think what we can probably do is let's make an array of point lights, I think, is what we need to do. So maybe event begin play, do a make array. One, two. Promote to variable. And we'll call this barrels. Then we'll do get barrels array, get, or maybe remove. Here, get first. Index item right there. Ooh, actually that might have just solved everything. Do that. Do that. Do that. Yeah, that might work. Hold on. We get this first try. I'll be very proud. Oh, oh my god! Oh, that's wonderful. That is so good. Would like the... Oh. Access none trying to read property, get array item. Roll cannon. Oh, you know what? It's because we're doing the reload thing at the end here. So if we just slide that over to when it's completed, maybe that'll fix it. We'll fire once and just check. Okay, no, we're still getting an error. Call function, get array item, triple barrel cannon. Yeah, you won't let me scroll. There we go. Proof and event node graph set hidden in game. Oh, having issues with this part right here. So what if we... hidden in game, okay. Set hidden in game. I don't think that's gonna fix it. I think that's actually just the same thing, but... yeah, same thing. Okay, so we need to come up with something different for that, maybe. Can we do set visibility? Would that be any different? Maybe just get rid of the hidden in-game thing and turn off visibility by default. Plug those back in, undo visibility there. Nope. Okay, so it doesn't like that I'm... Oh, it doesn't like that I'm doing this here. What it probably wants me to do is just drag off like this for all three. And then say set visibility. Which I don't really want to do, but if that's what's gonna cause us some headaches, then we might as well just play by their rules for a little bit. Until we can find a better way, at least. So we'll need to drag this out to the side. Let's get the set visibility stuff here. It's gonna get messy really fast. 1, 2, and 3. Drag all this up. And then what we'll do is we'll just set these underneath each one. And then we're doing the collision check before we shoot. So we could probably do the visibility check before the for loop as well. So highlight all of this. Copy all of this over here. Oof, not quite. There we go. Now we can get rid of these. Well, actually, maybe just the visibility stuff we can get rid of. Because it seems to be launching out of the barrels correctly, based on the array that we set up, which is good. I'm glad the array isn't useless. Get rid of the visibility nodes. So when we fire, they are visible, and when we finish firing, they are invisible. Let's see if that works as intended. I didn't see them. Maybe if we do set hidden in game instead. Gonna take some work. Check both of those, check both of those, and check both of these. Then just copy all of this. And set new hidden in game. Oh. Here. Maybe the issue is that delays, because that delay is not doing anything. Like this over here. There we go. Yeah, it's because that delay wasn't doing anything. Okay. Again, I'd like those cannons to be slightly different though. Which actually we can probably do by just going to our point lights here and adding some small rotation. So maybe just make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, so let's make this one 91 degrees. And we'll make this one 89 degrees. Hey! Oh, that's so funny how simple that was. Alright, let's set the triple barrel cannon damage to 10. And we'll make the reload time 5 seconds. Cool. Now we just need to make... Oh, I don't know if you heard that. I just popped my knuckles. Something fierce. Oh, and then the music stopped again. There we go. So... basic mechanics are in the game now. We just now need to do widgets and stuff for that. Oh, hold on. Apply damage to projectiles. Created triple barrel cannon BP. Fires 3 projectiles. Let me get a sip real quick. Let's finish our torpedo here. Just for testing purposes, let's make a quick button to spawn the torpedo. Let's use the keyboard F. Spawn actor from class. We will spawn the torpedo. And let's fire it from our camera. Get world transform. Okay, that didn't quite work as intended. How about get world transform? How about... well, you know what we could do? Just grab all of this. Kind of. No, there's a better way. Hold on. Ah, here we go. We'll use this. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's do this. Get world location. Get forward vector. Times float. Let's just do times 10 and see what that does. Dang. How about times 1000? Oh, you know what? We didn't set up the projectile speed. That might help. Go 500. Nope. Let's rotate you 90 degrees then. Here we go. They're about as fast. They're a little bit slower than the player, but that's okay. You know what? Actually, just for my own amusement, let's lower that to 400. So that way you know, they're a little more noticeable when they come flying through. We can take this out of the world. Now what we need to do is we need to set up a way for the torpedoes to spawn on the correct points on the model, which thankfully we were smart and made the models themselves skeletal meshes. Torpedo actor. Added projectile speed and... Did we do apply damage for the torpedo actually? I forgot to close Blender too. Let's close that. Ah. Apply damage. Now, torpedoes should be extremely deadly, but they shouldn't be be-all end-alls, so let's put the damage to 40. That way, if you're softening up your opponent, and then you know, hit them critically, this will be like a good finisher, or a good setup for finishers. Okay, with that being done, TP boat. Let's set up 2 sockets here. We're going to do 1 socket for, we'll call it torpedo 1, and add another socket called torpedo 2. Details tab, here we go. These sockets are massive for no reason. Can we shrink them down? They're using relative scale, so 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. How about just 1 then? 0.25, 0.15, 0.10. 0.10 will do. We'll need to do 0.5, 0.10, and 1. 0.5, 0.10, and 1. So torpedo 1, I'd like to have it on the right side of the ship. So my intention, sorry, I probably should go into more details here. My intention is if the player equips torpedoes... Actually, no, what am I doing? The player's going to be allowed to customize where these are, so it doesn't matter. I was thinking about having the torpedoes be displayed on the player's dock, but I forgot that that's kind of part of the customization features for this game. So, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we just need to work on the UI at this point. Let's add another variable for torpedo count. Actually, you know what we should also do? In Naval Ops Warship Gunner, there's a dedicated ammo pool for all your weapons. We should probably pull that information as well. And also set up that functionality. So, under the shoot function, check if you're reloading. But also, we want to make sure that our ammo pool is greater than 0. Well, now, to dictate our ammo pool, first of all, that is our shooting mechanics. And the other thing we need to do is we need to get ammo pool and decrement. Now, Because this is at the end of this function, that means if you have 5 turrets and only 2 of them can shoot, you're only losing 2 of your ammo pool, in theory. We will find that out in testing, but, you know. They're gonna get their ammo pool from the player, which... It might be better to just cast that information then, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's tighten this up then. I'm sitting weird in my chair again. Ugh. Music stopped again, too. So what we're gonna do is we're going to drag this back a little bit. Oh, we need to set up ammo pools for each weapon. We don't want to have it be shared. So let's do single ammo, triple ammo, and torpedo ammo. There we go. Then we're going to cast to player. Actually, you know what we can do? Keep this all here and just make a new function called get ammo pool. And then on event begin play, no, because what'll happen is we'll set the ammo pool, right? But then they're gonna all turrets will have the full ammo pool instead of pulling from the player's available pool. So as to player boat, get player character. All right. It might be better to put that, save that information in the save slot, and then when you load into the mission, you can dictate how much ammo you're bringing. That's the shoot function. That's the load turrets. Let's pull up that boat save again. Okay. This needs to be a event begin play thing. So we want to load the player's choices early. Let's figure out what we're doing here. We can turn this off. There's the pick boat thing. May need to save this information. Actually, we can leave this in. And then on event begin play, you know, get the player's boat choice. Yeah. So let's save this. Event begin play? Yes, it is. Okay. Begin play can go up here then. We'll drag this down here. Call this set player boat. Make passive stuff blue and active stuff red. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So on event begin play, we want to load our HUD and then pick our boat. But we're also going to want to load our save. So let's make that a custom event called load save. And we'll use this here as our functionality for that. We're going to need a lot of space. Let's go up here, do this, right? So obviously check if a save game exists called slot1. And then if it doesn't exist, create a save it to save slot1. We don't need that print string anymore. But if a save does exist, load information from slot1 and cast it to boat save. Now this is where things are going to differ from what we've already got set up. So let's do single barrel cannons. We're going to load our player's information separately. So first things first, we're going to want to slide all of this up to like that height. We're going to need to go to boat save, transforms, array. Okay, yeah, cool. So we'll control that through here as well. For now, let's not worry about that. So once get single barrel cannons count. And first index will actually be 1. What's the compile issue? Oh, right. Shoot. I did not think this through. Here's how we'll fix this. Set it back to being the triple barrel cannon. Get triple barrel cannons count. Set that as the last index. Actually, we should probably there we go. And then regardless of the results, take all this, slide it down actually, because we're going to do this. Yeah. Loop like that. Wait, no. No. I'm doing this all out of order for no reason. Break this. Break this. Plug this in here. Okay. The reason I did that is so that way we can set up the single barrel cannon counts. And I'm just all over the place. Triple barrel cannons will be the second thing that the game checks to see if the player has any of. That's the intention. So break this, go back to here. Send this back up here. This will be the completed check. So now we need to just select all this. and do that. Yeah, that should be more or less what we need to do. So now we need to do spawn actor from class. Split the struct. Do a 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5. We want to get the single barrel cannons. Got to get the branch. We need to do that first. Copy that. Get single barrel cannons count. Oops. There we go. Is it greater than 0? Then we can start spawning some. Cool. Now we just need to cast to single barrel cannon. Set owning actor, which actually we can probably get rid of since we're not even using that, right? In the shoot function. Yeah, we're not using that. We can get rid of that. So we just need to declare owner. The index like this. We're gonna need to split this up. Single barrel cannons, transform array. Oh, perfect. I already did that. So this is gonna look like a mess when I'm done with this. I mitigate that by hiding it like this. Get single barrel transforms array. Drag that up to here. And then we just want to copy this. Like that. Make sure our tag is player. We can get rid of this right here. Oh, now we need to just copy this. Triple barrel cannons transforms array. Oh man. The music stopped again. I think it's stopping every song just because I'm not actively in the window. Is there an option for that? No, I just need to set up my own way of playing the music. Then we'll do torpedoes just in case we decide to figure out a way to do that. Transforms array. Okay. So this is all set up for that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and set up the torpedoes just in case. Get torpedo count. Okay. Excuse me. The loop body, get torpedo. Oh shoot, you know what I need to do is set projectile speed. Maybe get projectile movement. set projectile speed. Maybe we won't display torpedoes. Maybe we can make a torpedo placeholder actor. Torpedo display. Just delete its projectile movement, and that should do it. Torpedo display. And basically what we'll do is every time we shoot the torpedo, we will destroy the display version of it. Let's do torpedo display. Oh shoot, we need to add the declare owner functionality. Which is pretty simple. This is it right here. Just paste it up there. And then do custom event declare owner. I spelled declare wrong. Declare owner. Plug that puppy right there. Take an input. The input will be a name, right? Yep. Owner. Can I just do set relative transform? Set actor relative transform default scene root. There we go. Oh shoot, there's other things. Transform. Oh, and that's his reset relevant relative transform. Set relative transform. Set actor relative transform. There we go. I do the same thing over here. Get the transform. Oops, that's the rotator. Transform. Split the struct. And parent just did location and rotation. We'll do the same here. Location and rotation. Player boat didn't compile correctly. Oh, right. It needs to be their own blueprints. I was using the target, as you can see right here. Target is turret parent. I need it to be the relevant actors. So declare owner, or onward, as I put it there. Break that. Get triple barrel cannons, transform array. Every song. Where? There we go. Index will go here. Get torpedo transforms array. Declare owner. And attach. We still have an error somewhere. Oh. We can get rid of this. There we go. That cleans it up quite a bit. Get rid of this as well. You know what? Instead of destroying the torpedo display, since torpedo display is now going to be part of the, loop. Let's do this. Get rid of this, get rid of this. And what we'll do instead is first get rid of that too. We don't want the player to get shot by their own torpedo. Custom event, shoot. And what we'll do is set hidden in game to be true. Oh, well, first we gotta make sure we got torpedo ammo and whatnot, but reloading ammo pool greater than 1-0. Yeah, we're still setting that up actually, so maybe we can afford to wait a second. But we can still kind of, yeah. Let's just set it up real quick, doesn't hurt. Spawn actor from class. We're gonna get the actual torpedo. We're gonna need to get the player character's location, so get player character, get transform. Yeah, I think that's all we really need to do to set this up. Well, we need to do the reloading thing, actually. Set timer by event. We'll set the reload time to be, I don't know. Let's make it 15 seconds. They're pretty powerful. Custom event. Reload. And when reload is done, just reverse this process. Oh, and we should add a variable called reloading. And then right here, we'll just add a quick branch. And if reloading is false, go ahead and fire. Cool. Now we can tweak this to be what we need it to be. So just do this. For the single barrel cannons, cast to single barrel cannon. And shoot. And then we'll do the same thing for the cast to triple barrel cannon. And finally, cast to torpedo display. And you will also shoot. Cool. Now if the player has any of the weapons, as long as they have the player tag, they will do the cool stuff. But there are still things we need to finish with our loading our save system, because one of the things it doesn't do right now is load the player's bow, and ideally it would do that first. So there's the pick boat enumeration system right there. So all we need to do is just get boat boat choice. Whoa. Oh, Ursa Skype. Thank you for the raid. That scared the crap out of me. I've never been raided before. Thank you so much. I'm oh shoot, I'm totally lost now. Where did my stuff go? Oh, this is a different blueprint script. I'm working on a game jam project. How are we doing? I'm a little sick today, but game jam's going pretty good. Just to catch your viewers up, how many hours we have on this game jam? It's in the bottom left-hand corner. I have a little live feed of the website. We got 5 days left. About 5 days left. I'm essentially attempting to remake this really obscure boat game a friend of mine is a fan of called Naval Ops Warship Gunner. And I chose to do that because I've never tried making a boat game before. It's always been first-person shooters. And second of all, the mechanics of that old PS2 game are pretty unique. And I thought it'd be fun to learn how to make that stuff. So yeah, that's what we're working on. Right, I was working on adding another integer to control what boat the player chooses as their base model. So boat choice, integer here. Then if we go back to our save system here, we want to get boat choice. And then before we load any of the weapon systems, we just want to pick boat. Oh shoot. I mean, yeah, we need to do that, but there's one more thing we need to do before that. Write this back here. Set boat choice. No, not you. Boat choice. There we go. Cool. So, in theory then, when we do our load save, it'll check if we have a save system, or not a save system, a save file. If we don't have a save file, it'll load one. It'll create one for us. If we do have a save file, it'll find the slot, and then ask our save file, what boat are they bringing into battle, and set that. Trigger this event here, which is down here, which will change the boat model depending on what we picked. Then it'll start loading all of the weapons that the player has chosen to equip with their boat and where on the boat they placed said weapons. That is how this should work in theory. So if we go into here and change the default values, like let's set this to 1, so that way we spawn in as a destroyer. And let's set the single barrel cannons count to, I don't know, 2. And let's just make up a random transform, I don't know, 10, 10, 10, and 50, 50, 50. Let's see if that'll work as intended. Not quite. We're missing a step. What are we missing? Oh, you know, maybe adding this to when we boot up the level, that might help. Load, save. Ta-da! I don't see our turrets though. Yeah, evidently that's not working just yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Single barrel cannon transforms array. Oh, that might also be part of the problem. Make sure the tags are set up correctly so we can see where in the world they're spawning. Then, yeah, that should be all we need to do. Okay. Get all actors of class for each loop. Da, 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 da. Oh, shoot. We also didn't set up what the active weapons are, so that might also be causing an issue. More active weapon is set to 0, so by default it should still try and trigger the single barrel cannon shoot function. So let's do this. Let's just make sure this is working by having a print string at the end. Okay, so the cannons are spawning somewhere in the world. That's good news. So the next question is, are they hitting a target? Print string. So let's see if they're hitting the player. That's a more accurate question. Are they hitting the player? Oops. Failed to compile player boat. That's weird. Don't know why that changed. Break that and break this. And that one's still fine. Interesting. Okay, so are we shooting ourselves? And that's why we can't see the turrets. That's the question. Alright, good news. We're not shooting ourselves. Oh, there's the turrets. They're really low. Okay, so let's go up here. Let's set the Z to be, I don't know, 150. And make the Z 150 here as well. Still pretty low, it seems. So let's jump that to 1000. Yeah, they are. And it looks like, whoa. Looks like only one of the turrets are spawning up there, while the other one... I need to fix the sensitivity options on this. Because, like, this is controllable. This is not. Okay, so one of the turrets is spawning at the right height and the other one's not. Even though I gave them both the same elevation, which is interesting. Da, 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 da. Here, let's do this. If we go back to our spawning method, something we can easily do is at the end of the spawning, we'll just have them announce where in the world are they spawning. That way we can see if the transforms are being triggered correctly. So just drag this up here. Oh, I did not have enough time to read that. Let's set the duration to 10 seconds. That should give me plenty of time to read that. Ah, I see. Okay, so one of them is not taking the transform, and I think I know why. We're starting with index 1, so that way we're not spawning one additional turret. But the issue is that we're using 2 transforms, and it's technically skipping step 0, which is this one right here. So the best way to fix that would be to go in here and add one more, and then just copy this information and paste it down here. And there we go. Both our turrets are there. Now they work. Not sure why they aren't shooting at the moment, but they are aiming where the mouse is looking, so that's good. They also seem to not move with the player, which is not great. I'll work it out. We had it working before, we just need to make it work again. Maybe if I get player character. Scene component object reference. Oof. Okay. There we go. Easy. Easy stuff. All right. I'm just gonna finish lining all this up, and then I'm gonna have to go to bed for the night. We made good progress though. We made a lot of good progress today. Our goals for today were to do all three of these things, and we went a little bit above and beyond that. I think that's pretty great. So we added a load save function. And in that load save function, we load player boat choice and load weapon counts and transforms. I wonder why it's not shooting though. I'm gonna take a split second to just try and figure this out real quick. Oh, you know why? Ammo pool is 0. We set this to 25, I bet they start shooting. Yep. Yep, it's just that simple. So we need to work on the ammo system next time. Let's see. This is nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I think we've been in this game jam for 4 days now. Yeah, day 4. And while I won't say that we've been hitting a lot of issues, the issues that we do encounter are especially brutal. So I think we spent an hour just trying to figure out why the boat models were originally not importing correctly. Yeah, these boats, their textures weren't applying correctly. And then the small issue that we had today was this torpedo model. The fins weren't rendering correctly. You can only see them from one side, but not the other. But luckily, that was a small, easy fix. What else did we do today? I want to make sure I got all my notations here. Player boat, we did that. We've added braking controls, navigation. Okay, so I think tomorrow I'd like to start working on more of the UI, because the UI needs some help. So let's set this to day 5, which is tomorrow, the 24th. Yes, 24th. Oops. And here are our goals for tomorrow. Let's see. We don't need to do any 3D modeling, so everything we're going to do is blueprints. We're going to update HUD widgets. So first thing we're going to need to do is reduce sensitivity. Oh my god. Sensitivity of camera controls. We're going to need to display active weapon slots, display active weapon ammo pools, display radar. I would like to display the player's speed. I think that would be really cool. Ooh, radar slash compass. That's gonna be interesting to implement, but we can figure it out. I'll probably come up with other ideas tomorrow on what else to update in that sphere. But something else I would like to just get out of the way, since I usually scramble at the end of game jams for, is create main menu widget. And then if we have time, create options menu widget. Cool. This is a lot of work, but hopefully it doesn't take too much time. But yeah, we did a lot of good work today, so we'll just have to pick it up again tomorrow. There's this guy. Thanks again so much for the raid. It really means a lot to be raided. And for everyone else who tuned in, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow.